What is up, y'all? We're back with another Terrifier 3 and Terrifier 4 video. Before we get into it, definitely smash the like button because it definitely helps, and make sure you're subscribed to the channel. I want to just say, man, thank you guys. You guys have been showing a lot of love with, the Terrifier talk, and I'm very happy to be, shining, light on this on my channel because, like I said, Art the Clown is one of my favorite slashers, and I definitely love talking about this franchise. But something I've been thinking about is with Terrifier 3 and Terrifier 4. I want to talk about how Terrifier 3 actually changed things in the franchise, and I don't know what to even call it, what it can be in Terrifier 4, but it's definitely going to be a different type of film off of how Terrifier 3 ended and the things that we've seen. I think Terrifier 4 is going to dive more into, the lore and backstory and really give us that confirmation on who is Art the Clown. Now, pushing forward, we know in Terrifier 3, we saw this crazy final act, one of the best final acts in horror, to be honest, with Sienna Shaw going up against Art the Clown and Victoria, and then we saw what happened with Victoria where she actually, passes away and vanishes into this blood puddle, and then we get this portal of hell opening, and Art the Clown is losing his powers and everything, and we finally see Art the Clown back away from a kill. Like, he left because it seems like he actually was scared, because he didn't want to end up like Victoria. So Art the Clown possibly had his powers took from him. Now, we see him at this bus stop, and he's kind of just sitting there, almost like, I know it sounds crazy, but like he's sad and lifeless, for real, for real. Then this bus pulls up with Phil Falcone driving it, and we see Art the Clown, and he's kind of just sitting there looking numb, kind of telling us he's not the same guy that we've been seeing in the past, 2 films. Now, pushing forward, I think that when it comes to all of this can be good or it can be bad. Either way, I'm very interested in it, and it all depends on the viewer, in my opinion. So Damien talks about in a couple of interviews how, Art the Clown was basically like human in the first one. Like, he was like literally human. He was just a serial killer, but he ends up getting his power from this entity, which was the Pale Girl, as we seen in the beginning of Terrifier 2. We see that this is how it happens when he's walking up to the doctor, and we see all this paper and stuff moving around, showing that he now has power. We even see how Art the Clown gets brought back to life for Terrifier 3 and the ending of Terrifier 2 with the Pale Girl with his head, and he ends up getting out of Victoria's JJ, being rebirthed, his head and everything, and it goes from there. So pushing forward, now that we see Terrifier 4, he's not going to have any powers. What is Art the Clown going to do? Now, in Terrifier 1, he was human. He was a human serial killer that was just very brutal. He did not run from anything. He went up against the victims, and he really went to the point that he killed a few of them. You know what I'm saying? And then at the end, he ends up deleting himself, which was almost like a sacrifice type of thing, where it's almost like he knew, like, if I sacrifice myself, I'm gonna come back bigger and better, and I can't be stopped, And to push forward with this, I wonder, when you go back to the Terrifier 1 side of things, we saw that, Sienna's dad is very invested and interested in everything with this whole Art the Clown character, or he's obviously attached to this character because of the drawings and everything. So I wonder if it was something that happened back at that carnival, when Emily's family, where Emily actually first got killed, which was Art the Clown's first victim. I wonder, is there some type of connection back there with Sienna's father and Art the Clown? Did something happen at the carnival or the circus or whatever? Did something happen there, and it's something where he knew that Art the Clown was going to be taken over by this evil because Sienna's dad knew about the evil? You know what I'm saying? He saw, because remember they said in Terrifier 2, Sienna's father was doing a lot of crazy stuff towards the end of his death, and he was doing a lot of stuff, and he crashed into a transformer. But it almost seems like, what if Art the Clown was in the same situation as Sienna's father, but he was already a serial killer from jump, as Jonathan said in Terrifier 3, but he just let it in. You see what I'm saying? He just let, like, these supernatural entity powers get into him, and he's messing around with the host, like the Pale Girl, Victoria, and he's letting it overpower him because he wants it to be, because he was evil from jump. He was a serial killer from jump. So all it does is help him in his direction where he's going with things. So, and Sienna's father obviously didn't want to be a serial killer, so he crashed into the transformer, deleting himself, similar to how Art the Clown deleted himself in the first one. So to get into everything, what I want to talk about before 4 is basically that we're going to see a different Arthur Clown possibly. Now, it's all about the length and the duration of how long Damien's going to write him to be like that. Maybe it's something very small where he ends up getting a new vessel and, you know, an entity that's next to him, like a Victoria or a Pale Girl. And, you know, I've heard people say in the community, like, what if it's Gabby, you know, because she's younger and she's like, you know, possibly she can be passed away. It can be like we just thought she fell and she's still down there, or she really passed away when she fell, you know what I'm saying? Or like I told y'all in previous videos, Jonathan, I don't know if they'll go that route, but he can be the new entity, even though, you know, it kind of be crazy because he's going up against his sister. Maybe he can be a good entity, like, you know, on Sienna's side, good versus evil type of thing. Or with him being so obsessed with Arthur Clown in a previous film, Terrifier 2, Arthur Clown, you know, gives him what he wants. He's now a partner of Arthur Clown, a Miles County slasher. So it can go a lot of ways, but I think it's going to be definitely different. Like for at least the first act to play the safe zone, I think the first act we're going to see Arthur Clown, you know, with no powers, and we're probably going to see how everything, because I love when Damien does that. He puts everything together in like the first couple of acts, like showing us what we're about to get into. So maybe it's something where Arthur Clown gets on a bus, he gets off, maybe he's back at that house, the abandoned house. He finds this new vessel. It takes him a minute, you know, maybe another time jump. Or if I were you, Damien, I probably want to do a crazy time jump like you did last time, because he told us in this interview the only reason he did a time jump was because Elliot had got older, and we will be able to see it. Like from when we saw him in Terrifier 2, he actually got older, and then you can see it, and it wasn't like matching up. So that's the only reason he did, you know, a time jump. He said he would have actually liked for it to kind of, you know, continue for real. Then along those lines, he got the idea of putting art in a Christmas environment. So, which that's very cool. I loved Arthur Clown, you know, being involved in Christmas and stuff like that. But I can't wait to see how creative Damien can get with this Terrifier 4 script and story, because man, like I said, just the fact knowing that Arthur Clown now is powerless and he can possibly go up against Sienna, I wonder, you know, how this is going to go also on Sienna's end of things, because now going up against Arthur Clown without that sword, you don't have any healing ability, Sienna. You know, like just thinking about that, like you don't have any healing ability. So if Art does something to you, you're not going to recover from that. And Art damn near killed, well, he killed Sienna in the second Terrifier. She just came back to life because of these powers and everything with the sword being involved. But maybe it could be something where her daddy can help her from the other side. I don't know. But Terrifier 3, he definitely, I'm not going to lie, was jacking her up. Even with the hands, her hands healing. The sword is definitely something that she needs for sure going up against Arthur Clown. Supernatural powers or no supernatural powers, especially after seeing what he did to Don in Terrifier 1. I think, yeah, she's still in trouble, but all it takes for Arthur Clown, it seems to be, if, you know, that same formula that happened in Terrifier 2 with Sienna did to Arthur Clown, if she does it to him in Terrifier 4 and he has no powers, I honestly think Arthur Clown is a goner. Like, because it's nothing attached to him no more. There's no Victoria, there's no Pale Girl. But I do think that Terrifier 4 will definitely have another entity like a Victoria or a Pale Girl possibly, or just some type of new thing being introduced to us on the side, just because somehow, some way, we're going to have to see an evil entity be hosted in this story, because now that we've seen it in Terrifier 2 and 3, it's almost like it became a consistent thing. And now we are finding out this is the puppet master of Arthur Clown, this evil entity, these demons, you know. So a lot of these demons are a big connection to Arthur Clown, and it keeps him, you know, pushing forward and taking out his victims and elevating with power and being strong. So I think that in Terrifier 4, we're definitely going to see a lot of different things. Like I told y'all, possibly going to hell with the connection back to the Ninth Circle. Definitely seeing Sienna possibly talk to the author of that book. I think that Damien is on to something with the Ninth Circle and just it kind of merging in with his new films being a Terrifier. I definitely think that it's going to make a big twist and just some type of confirmation from just day one Terrifier fans. And I can't wait to see how he kind of incorporates this, especially with him just showing the Ninth Circle and just it being on a book and having someone read on a bus like it's out there in Miles County in that universe. I can't wait to see if he lets Sienna go and check out the author or pick up the book and it helps her with this demonology or helps her gets this GPS down the head hell or something, because we're going back to hell. I feel it, just because that's where Art the Clown comes from. That's his home. And maybe go back to the Terrifier attraction. Maybe we can get some scenes with Art the Clown going back to the Terrifier attraction, just because, you know, maybe that's the portal. Maybe that's the actual portal. You know what I'm saying? Because the Terrifier attraction, especially in Terrifier 2, it definitely stood out a lot when you sit here and think about everything. So to be honest, I can see us, you know, going back to the Terrifier attraction, going back to, you know, just the old days with Terrifier 4. That's why I said it's going to be different, because I think we're going to see a lot of the back plot, what we've been wanting, you know, meaning backstory stuff with Art the Clown, what keeps him going, where he's going next, and what's going to happen with him being, you know, human again. I think that's why I said Terrifier 4 is going to be different, because Terrifier 3 has supernatural powers. Terrifier 2, supernatural powers. Terrifier 4, as of now, it seemed like he's going to be powerless, guys. So that's completely different from what we've been seeing these past couple of years. Meaning that Art the Clown, if he takes the right amount of damage with, you know, if Sienna gets the sword back or whatever, and he's still powerless, it's a dangerous game. He's back human. Almost how Chucky is, you know? So I can't wait to see how that happens and everything. It kind of has me like, I don't know, but it definitely is scary. I think with this film, Damien wants fans to go into the theaters being scared for Art the Clown, who's basically like our superhero in these movies. We go see Art the Clown take out victims and be creative with his kills and see what he's gonna do in his scenes and the dances, the smiles, and, you know, everything. So I think he wants us to go into this not knowing what the hell's going on for real, or possibly being scared for Art the Clown. I definitely think Sienna's gonna be on that mission that Damien's talking about in interviews, where basically she has to probably go back and get Gabby, probably do some more backstory research on Jonathan, what happened in Terrifier 3. Is he dead? Is he not? You know, I'm hearing a lot of people now starting to say they think that Jonathan's dead, but I guess we shall see in Terrifier 4, man. I cannot wait. And now Damien's talking about possibly a 5th film. He's saying, I respect that. He's saying that he wants to keep the story going as long as he has a story to tell. He doesn't want to stuff everything in one film, and then it kind of, you know, hurts him for real. So, I mean, possibly more Terrifier films on the way. Either whatever you do, Damien, bro, I'm on a train, bro. I love Terrifier. So comment down below what you guys think. How do you feel about Terrifier 4, you know, being different, you know, and it just started in Terrifier 3 for real. If you think about it, at the final act, that's when stuff started being a little different. So comment down below, how do you guys feel about, you know, us possibly getting a different Terrifier film when we get the next installment to this franchise? But unfortunately, this is the end of the video. I want y'all to hit me up on all my social medias at ILIKESCARY. I want you to watch some horror movies. Stay scary out there. Peace.